Welcome back to Shapez 2, the Make Anything machine. My name is Nilaus and I will be your guide on this tutorial. Thank you very much for the support, the overwhelming support on this new series. And it's nice to be able to just restart and just do something completely different. At first we play through the entire game and then we try to make sure that we don't have to play through the game because we automate the whole damn thing. That's the perfect way to play any factory game. I know that you're already getting crazy about this update. I left this one here because then I can do click. There are no more tasks left. There are no more milestones left. There are no more upgrades left. There are only operator levels left. And as you can see here, I have been grinding those out to level 31 because I am desperately looking for a pin. And I was kind of hoping that it would come at level. First, I hoped it would come at level 10, then at level 20, then at level 25. And then when it didn't come at level 30, I was like, all right, well, I guess I better get started then. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be talking about pins, and I have a really clever solution for how to deal with pins, because pins are a little bit different because you sort of push them from the bottom, but that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to completely cheat that. As you may have noticed, we ended the last episode with 2 of these so that we could do multi-level, but in order for me to be able to progress this, hoping to get to the pins, I had to make it into 4 levels. So before we dive in and look into the pins, I'm going to go through a little bit of the logic that is essential to make this work. And also some of the logic that I have now set up and improved, because some of it is a little bit advanced. So let's start from the get-go here. This is the shape. You can see that there's some teal things on top. That means this one. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the levels. So we kind of build this from as a layer cake from the bottom up. So this is the bottom layer, and then it goes on top. And basically, then we can sort of zoom in on this part. This is what we've built in the previous ones, going in here, and then it comes out to this one. This one is going to be identifying that it is the same as level green. However, I have put this one in, which is kind of irrelevant for level 1, but this weird thing, I am going to show you the same thing because that exists at all of these levels where there could be a null value. If we're getting, for example, this is level 4, there might not be a level 4. Then I get a null value here, and if I have a null value, such as when okay, we're gonna take you out. There we go. And okay, thank you, autosave. The autosave is taking a while now. So there. And then if I take that out, then there's a null value. And you can see, then it doesn't, this belt filter, it neither moves forward or it filters to the side when there's a null value. So that's kind of annoying that null values don't really work. So what I have done is, I've done this part. And then you can see that now there is a null value coming in, but it still flows because this is basically taking the value we get in here, which currently is null. Let's actually look at it from the ideal situation. So we get a value in, that is the shape. Then it goes into a not filter. So that basically if there is something, then it turns into nothing. That means this one is disabled. But it also goes in here and says this is the pass-through, but it also says that if there's something here, then it enables itself to pass through, and then it goes in. So right now, the loop that works is this one. There, it just passes through. But if I then remove here, then this loop here doesn't work because there's no input signal here to trigger this gate. This gate basically says if there's a light green, any signal inbound that is not a 0 or a null, then null is not a signal. That's a lack of a signal. That's the problem. Then this part here doesn't work. But since this is nothing coming in, null going in, then it gets reversed, and then there is a signal going in. And then that says basically, if there's a signal, then this one activates, and then it will pass through the value, and the value is 0. So basically what this does is it converts a null value to a 0 value, and if it's not null, then it just passes through. So this one I've been added to all the different locations that could potentially be a null value. That's really important. So for example, up here, this one is another thing that's also relevant, because here I just do a look up on seeing if there is a level 4, then that means there will be something from both sides, because there has to be a level 3 if this one is even active. And if there's no level 3, then this one isn't even active because there's nothing coming inbound. Then over here, then it gets a little bit more complicated. We just explained this part. This is the part we just looked that turns a null value into a not null value. So let's take that out and then try to understand what this is basically doing. This is looking at level 4 and level 3, and then basically saying level 3, we are expecting that level 3 will always be here. Because if it's not here, then this whole branch of the machine is not working. So, and therefore it's irrelevant. So if there is a value in, this means this will always be something. This one will sometimes be something if there is a level 4, and if there's not a level 4, then it will be a null value. So again, we're going to be seeing the same issue before. If there's a value here, then it goes into the merger, and this one is then coming in here, and it's going into the merger if it gets a value over from level 4. You can see this one is bouncing over our intersection. So basically it says if there's something on level 4, then you activate the flow of the level 3 in here, and then the level 3 and level 4 gets merged, and then I will have that as an output. Nope. There. So then that is the correct signal. But if, let's say, this one is not there, then there will be no signal going in to this part. That means it doesn't work. There will be no signal going in here. That means there's no pass through here. So that means the whole stacker here is disabled. But it will go over to this location, turn the null signal into an active signal, and then it will just do a pass through of the level 3. So this basically says that if level 4 exists, then merge level 3 and 4. If level 4 doesn't exist, don't do just pass through level 3. And then on top of that, I'm going to be adding this one on top so that I make sure that it's not reduced to 0. I mean, does not really need it because there will either be level 3. Well, if the level 3 is null, if there is no level 3, then that would result in this whole thing being null, and that means it doesn't clean out the belts, because I just want this to clean out the belts all the way through. And lastly, up here, this one basically says if something on level 3, then there will be something on both sides. And lastly, this one is just looking at the entire shape. Whew. Well, that was something. So that was just getting that going, and unfortunately, I had to sort of use a bigger shape here. So that means this whole level 4 thing is completely working. It's running smoothly, as you can see here. It's been running smoothly for quite a while. And did we just pick up one? No, we did not pick up one. So what do we do now? Well, now we need to look at pins. And I want to show you a cool way to do pins. Because pins they can either be really complicated, or they can be so cheekily easy that you're going to be like feeling that it's almost cheating. That's a good appetizer for that. Right. So what do we know about pins? We know about pins that they have to be underneath something. So there will always be something on top. And what if we could sort of avoid that so that we could have pins alone? So I'm going to be starting to just use some of my normal blueprints from back in the day here. Nope, I want to do the split here. Right, so the first thing that I do is I take this and split it into halves each. Then I want to say, well, this is where things get a little bit weird. Let's see. I will now go over here, because if I do a crystallizer, I can actually break the crystals. And if I break the crystals, then I can actually get things, get the pins exposed. I still don't have any pins here, but we can do this. And I'll just take that one a little bit out. Here, 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 and here. This is not quite enough, but this is just a template. Ooh, we got this one completed. Come on, give me pins. No pins yet. All right, maybe it's only at level 50 we get pins. I don't know. We'll get them eventually as we progress here. So what are we gonna get out here? Now we're gonna get like half of this. Yeah, half of it will be crystallized. That's what we're getting out on this belt. So crystallized, the other half will be crystallized on the other side. And that means I can then take, I can put them back together with my swapper. That one. Here. Then that should put them back together. Okay, we're getting this inbound. Yeah, we're getting that. We're getting this. And This is the junk. And this one is now just a flat level 1 shape of just a full color. So then we take this and we put pins underneath it. So now it is a shape, a crystal with pins underneath. Okay, so what do we do now? Then I do that one. This is a swapper. Let me just look at that one again. This one is swapping the west corners and doing it for 12 lanes, but it's super small. So what happens now if I start cutting things in up when it is full of crystals? Let's follow the first ones coming in. There, let's follow it. So it goes in. Come on. There. Cut. And then it just deletes all of the crystals because they got cut in half. And what do we have? How about that? We now have pins all by themselves. So now pins are just another shape. And then we can bring those shapes into our MAM, and then it's basically just treated exactly like a normal one. Isn't that beautiful? I think it is. I think it's amazing, because then that means we don't have to sort of consider like, oh, what if you push it from below, and what if there's only like, no, it's just a 5th shape. I think that's amazing. So all we need to do now is we're going to need a lot of colors. So I'm going to be finding a location. I think I found a location. We also did some changes over here by the MAM, because I'm preparing already now for building the MAM for the crystals, which will be here a completely different one. There are going to be 2 things here, so we'll need to have 2 MAMs operational, and therefore I built all of that train consolidation, again replicated it, so I'm ready to put in the other one next to it. But that's not going to be now. That's just a cliffhanger for later on. What is that? Some old legacy stuff. I was pretty sure I found a shape out here that I wanted to use. Like a big, nice, glorious shape that was good. That one maybe? Oh, that's like really far away. Oh yeah, because I need to get it into... This is a new layout, because right now I'm just getting all the shapes, all the 4 shapes into this one. But that's not really what I want. I want them into this one. So I'm going to do that. Oops. And then I'm going to take all this out. And then I will take this shape out, and then we can take a look at what it actually does. There. Yeah. Nope. There. And so this goes out, and this one is going to go in. Ooh. I need to be really careful about the coloring and the sequencing. Oh, that is just a nightmare. Ooh, yes, that is a nightmare. I'm thinking this part is also has to be changed. Cut this, flip. Like that. Yeah. And then I can do another here. Right. So what I need to do is I need to get these shapes in here, and they will be of the color. The red one is going to be the front. So red one is going to go in here because that's a circle. So that goes in. I'm probably going to make a mistake. Then the second one is this one. That means this has to be the green, has to go in here. Green, there. Okay, that's the second one. The third one will then be the blue. It comes here and in there, that's the blue. And then the last one, the white, will then be into the last shape. There, that's the wedge, that comes in. And then I'm going to need to have you as a separate one because I can't do that. I'm going to be trying to enable the other ones and then just see how it goes. Oh, this one is also has to be a extra. Seriously? There. Good. So now that deletes the trains anyway. All right. This feels a little weird now that it... Yeah, they still connected. Then I can do like regular. Good. All right. So we're going to be building some kind of shape. It just has to be a full shape. It doesn't even have to be like a reasonable shape, but it has to be a shape that's close to a lot of colors. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors nearby. So I'm going to take this one, and then we're just going to be trying to make the same design that we just built. Let's actually just copy paste it. So we have a location here, and now we build it, and I want to build it a little bit closer or tighter than we built the previous one. So because I want it to be on 2 lanes, because then I can get something in and then it can repeat up here. So I just want it on 2 lanes. That means we're going to be trying to squeeze it a little bit more than previously. And I think this is not correct. That's the inbound, yeah. And then flip it here. So we're going to get belts in here. This one jumps under and goes into the next. Nope, that did not work. There. This one jumps under and goes in here. There. So that gets us this part. Then I want to do the part where we merge it together. That will be this one. And then one of them will be the junk. And I think it's going to be this one. I have no idea. And then I'm going to be putting the pins underneath the other one. And then I am going to do the very small, very efficient removal of the swap weft corners, which basically just gets rid of the crystals we just put in here. That means all of this, each of these take 2 or takes half a space pipe of paint. So that's 1 full space pipe of paint for this. That's a lot of waste, but you know, we can do that. And then I need to bring it into a train, which will just be somewhere out here. And that's going to get like a shape 1, 2, 3, 4, and some trains before, some trains afterwards. And let's see, that will be like here and here. And just trying to see if, oops. Let's do that. Or maybe even deliberately do this one so that it's completely in the middle. Yes. Okay. We're going to test one of them. Yeah, it was obviously the other way around because that's just how things work. And that will go up. Pick these up. Now I can just paste, paste, and paste. And these will then get the resolutions out here. Good. And then I need to bring the colors in. And this one just goes in, straight in here. And it doesn't matter what color they are, so that's just going to be fine. This one, jump under. And then go into, oops, up, 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 and up. And the last one, this one will go in here. There's just barely enough room for it. There we go. Oh, this feels weird. It feels weird that it's cheating to go on the other side. Let's for no reason at all do something about that. There we go. Now it's all coming in. Never mind. Here. There. Good. So that's now coming in. Is this working? Are we getting some? Yes, we're getting some dots out here. Some pins. That will take a little bit of time. And then we just need to take these pins and then bring them back to... Oh, crap. Really? I need to bring it into that one location. Is that viable? No, it's not. Never mind. I'm gonna go around this one. Now it's looking better. We have the things coming in at the right positions, but we want to stop some things as well. Because now if we move further down the line, all of these trains here now have to have an extra wagon on because how many wagons is this? 11, and I have 3 plus 4 plus 4, that's 11, and I need one more. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this, and that means, oh, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so we're gonna take this part and get it out there. And that is the case for both. And yes, there is no way of preventing it from just getting destroyed. And then let's get in. Oops, I just overridden that one. Damn. I have luckily prepared a little bit so that we know that there would be room for this one coming in. There. And I need to add that to the other lane as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And here, this is why the blueprints are the way that they are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are not correct. Why? Oh, it is correct. It's because it goes the other way around. Ah, this is pushing from here into the other one. Good. And those trains coming in on this path here. White goes down, blue goes here, and that's the one that is here. And they are now, should be 5 long, but it's just that the 5th one isn't really there yet because we don't really, well, we do have something here. Bloop. Then we get the pins or the buttons put on this as well. And we now have, unfortunately, that meant we lost everything on the trains because you can't really take the existing trains and just add a little bit more. So we lost all input here, but this is pretty saturated. That's good. It's just going to take a little bit of time to saturate, especially this one. It has plenty of time to saturate because nothing really is going on there. Right. So we are this is looking good in terms of getting stuff inbound, but we also need to get stuff inbound here. So I'm going to need another one of these. There. And what is it going to do? And wait for this. Just look at how crazy this actually is. There, done. That's it. I think, right? Is that correct? It basically goes in here and then it compares it to what we have. And then if this is a pin, then I'll get a pin here as well. Yep, that's so crazy how simple that is. There, and there. If I put those in before they get in, and that's the beauty of this modular design. There we go. And if they suddenly add a new 5th or 6th or 7th shape, then we can easily just extend it just like that. This should work without any further additions, because I've also built it in a way that if this one doesn't have a color, it just passes through all the colors and you can't color pins anyway. So what do we do now? Well, we're going to just basically have to wait a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until they saturate. Then I will either hopefully get to a point where this will give me some pins, then I'll be super happy. Or I will then have to make like a default shape that has pins in it just so that we can see that it works. But first things first, we need to saturate this one here. A lot of time has passed and the buffers have filled up more than a few times over. And I've waited a lot of times, but now I'm going to just see, please let the next one be a no. I guess they come around at level 50, so I'm not going to wait for that. What we're going to do instead is we are going to go up here and then use my selector. I'm going to use this. Okay, well, that's not a great way. This shape here, which is the milestone shape that has pins in it. And let's have a look at milestones. It's this one. So this seems to be a good one to test if our milestone build works. So we're just going to be toggling it, and then that should, we can get rid of that, and that should get us started on sort of all the way from the start and actually get us something. Let's see. So the shape is not the first level, but this, the second level should definitely have something. Yep, there we go. We are seeing this one come out. There's there and there. This level should just be 5 or 4 4 pins, and we see the 4 pins coming in. What about the top level? Nothing. And then the third level will be 2 red ones here, and then also some pins. Yeah, so we're going to get really busy on the pins here, and we can see that they will go, and they will also just flow straight through and go to the end. So if we to just take stock of what we have while we are hoping that it works, like it did trigger. I think the most impressive part is the fact that I did not have to do any kind of change to my blueprint in order for us to actually incorporate the pins. We just had to do the silly pins build, and then we can get in as if it was any other shape. it can be stacked, it can be, I mean, it cannot be crystallized, but that's something we're going to be looking at the next episode, because we need to get into the crystallization, because that's going to be the final challenge to get our MAM going here. And then we'd actually have to have a second one, because I want to keep working on this while also starting grinding on the next one. But that's going to be a little bit down the road here. What we're seeing is, yeah, I think this is working well. If we're looking again at the blueprint-wise, just the design-wise, this is one design, and this is another design. This is the third design, and then we have all of the leaders around here. That's technically also that, but that one, and then we have all of the path selections. So we have very few distinct blueprints that we needed, and then of course this one where it just splits on each level. So that should be good. We want to see that the whole thing is actually working, so we'll just wait until we see them flowing in here and we can complete the milestone. So now our belts have filled out, and it's just filled out with all the nice things we want. And that happens because it will get checked at each of these locations, and therefore stuff that is not valid will not flow very long on the belt. Sort of residuals from old builds that get stuck inside of this this build here, and then it won't be passing on. We got the little smiley here, and we're gonna get the first one out, and this will be evaluated against this because we're bringing it over, and we can see that it comes in. Great, so this works. We have now incorporated pins into our MAM, and the only thing we're remaining is crystals. Crystals will be by far the most difficult part, especially when we want to make crystals in double layers, but I'm sure we can find a way to do it. So if you have enjoyed this episode and enjoyed the series, be sure to hit the like button. That helps a lot, and consider subscribing, because there will be tons more factory content here on the channel. And of course, if you want access to the blueprints, I have collected those in neat little packages so that you can access them yourself and build your own MAM and improve and build it the way you like it. And those are available to Patreon supporters. So thank you very much, everyone who's supporting on Patreon. Until next time, take care. And as always, stay effective.